What's up, everybody? Joe Collins here, congressional candidate, California's 43rd district. So I got a lot of people upset about what I said or what I've been saying about other Republicans or conservatives, or whatever you want to call it, talking about the black community. One of the biggest problems that I have is that, for one, I have not seen one Republican come to anybody's inner city. We haven't had a Republican representative in South Central Los Angeles. We haven't had one come to Minneapolis, not Chicago, not New York, not Miami, not downtown Dallas and protesting with any of the families. We hardly ever see them when it comes to representation, period. My biggest issue I have with people who are not representatives like Candace Owens or Brandon Tatum is that every time a black man is killed, they're the first people to criminalize that person to try to justify these men being killed. Or where they were a criminal, they had a criminal background. Like, why does it matter? They were murdered. I have a lot more respect for Brandon than I have for Candace. I have no respect for Candace. The reason why I have respect for Brandon is because Brandon doesn't position himself as the voice of the black community. He always says, this is my opinion. And he gives us his opinion, and I can respect that. We can have a difference of opinion, you know what I'm saying? And it's cool. But Candace martyrs herself as the voice of the black community. Candace is not from the hood. Candace has never lived the black experience. The only experience Candace has is what her grandfather told her about how black people lived back in the days. She's not from the hood. She's never lived in the hood. She's probably never been targeted by the police for being black. She has a white husband. All of these things which disqualifies her from opening her mouth about anything that happens in the black community. She does not live in the black community. She does not come to the black community. And the one time she tried to come down here, she got shut down by T.I. So we're not having it no more. One thing I am, as a black man, I'm from the hood. I'm from South Central Los Angeles, born and raised. My house was shot up in a drive-by. I moved to Texas. I finished high school in Texas, and then I joined the Navy. I did very good for myself. I'm successful, and I'm coming back to run for Congress in the 43rd district against Maxine Waters, who is like a terrible leader, right? We have no economic development, no quality jobs, and education is poor. But we also have a huge issue with the police in our community. We're targeted because we're black. You cannot be in any neighborhood with nice things if you're black, or you're going to get targeted, you're going to get pulled over, you're going to get arrested, you're going to get beat down, you might get shot and killed. So when I hear these people open up their mouths talking about what the black community needs, it leaves a real bitter taste in my mouth. It leaves a bitter taste in every single black person's mouth that lives in the inner cities, that go through this thing on a day-to-day basis. And so if you don't have nothing nice to say, shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit up here and talk about, oh, he was murdered by a cop. Unarmed black man murdered by the cop. And the only thing you said, well, he was a criminal, so I'm not going to support him. Or he was a criminal, so it might have been justified. Like, yo, stop saying that shit. That's the type of stuff that disenfranchises people from the Republican Party. That's what makes people go, I ain't rocking with y'all. I know I've been a candidate for a long time, and I barely have support from the Republican Party. They don't give me nothing. I even have people talk about, oh, the Trumps paid you. Are you a rhino? Are you this? Are you that? I never became a Republican to be a part of any boys club. So all this stuff that they're talking about, it doesn't matter to me. I became a Republican because of the history of the Republican Party. The thing that makes me sick about Candace Owens is, for one, she is a black woman who criminalizes black men to try and justify the fact that they have been getting killed by black people on a regular basis. Stop doing that. Another thing that makes me upset is, instead of just offering condolences and shutting your mouth, you always want to say something. Oh, he's a criminal. Oh, you got to stop leaning towards black people that have been killed by cops because they ain't nothing. Yo, black people's lives matter just as much as everybody else. Candace was a person who got her clout by saying the policies of the Democratic Party has destroyed the black community. So if you have a person who is a victim of the policies of the Democratic Party that has destroyed our communities, when a person goes through these things and then they are murdered by the cop, how could you in good conscience sit up here and say, well, he's a criminal? Well, no shit, because they have the policies that target black people and turn us into criminals. We have no opportunities in the hood. We have no economic development in the hood. We have the poorest education in the hood. So if you want to sit up here and say that every single black person that gets murdered by the cop, oh, well, he was a criminal, well, he was this, he was that. When you got your fame, speaking in front of the House by saying these policies that the Democratic Party have created failed the black community, knowing that the majority of the black community live in poverty, it makes you look like a fucking idiot. It makes you look like a sellout, and that's exactly what you are. So don't open your mouth and say nothing else about the black community. Pull up to South Central Los Angeles. Pull up to anybody's inner city. Actually live what black people go through on a regular basis. Don't sit up here and try to use your grandfather's name to talk about what he went through as if you know the black struggle. Like you don't know nothing. I have a black son. And if my black son is murdered by a cop, and I hear you telling this man that he got murdered because he was criminal, we're going to have some problems. When the last time you sat with any family that's grieving right now because they've lost a child to police brutality? When the last time you sat with a child who lost their parent to police brutality? When the last time you had anybody in your family that lost their life because of police brutality? Go talk to these people and tell them to their face, oh, he only died because he was a criminal. It's cool that he got killed by a white person because he was a criminal. It's cool he got killed by a cop because he was a criminal. Nobody is saying that police are bad. You got a few cops. You got a few cops that are terrible. And we know this because you got cops that are gang members. So the majority of the time, it's not race related, but they're targeted because of the laws that are put in place that are racially biased towards black people. You know what I'm saying? So if you mad about how I feel about the black community, about these so-called Republicans opening their mouth about black men who are dying at the hands of negligent people, feel my pain. Don't sit up here and tell me, oh, you just like Maxine Waters, or you just like everybody else. No, I'm a black man and I've been there before. I'm from the hood. I feel it. My friends feel it. Everybody who want to become a Republican in the black community, and they feel it. And we getting sick and tired of all the time hearing your ass talk the same crap all the time. Oh, he got murdered. He was black. He was a criminal. So it's cool. I've been in jail. I've been arrested for minor stuff. If I get killed, you gonna say that about me? Candace, if you have a kid, your kid gonna be half black because you married to a white guy. If he gets murdered, if somebody come up and say, oh, he was just murdered because he's a criminal, how you gonna feel? Would you be okay with it? So my thing is, you never been to the hood. You don't come to the hood. You don't mess with people in the hood. The last time you tried, you got shut down by T.I. You know what I'm saying? So if I was you, give your condolences and then shut the hell up. Period.